Good morning, everyone. For those of you that I have not had the pleasure to meet, my name is Ellie Small, and I am on the government relations team at Blockchain Association. So I am here this morning to give you a few congressional updates on some must-pass items before Congress, market structure legislation, stablecoin yield, tax, and of course, privacy. So I want to start out with updates on our two major must-pass items. The first being the continuing resolution. So federal funding is set to expire on September 30th, and Congress is getting closer to moving a continuing resolution, or a CR, to avoid a government shutdown, with House Speaker Mike Johnson just yesterday releasing text and having the House vote likely on Friday. And that clean bill would punt funding until November 21st. The next one is the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA. The House passed their version last week, and that included the anti-CBDC language that we've seen. And the Senate is expected to pass theirs by the end of this week. We'll see. So BA did not see anything that would cause concern for our industry in either bill, but since those two bills are very different, there will be a conference committee with members from both chambers, and the goal is to have the final bill passed by both the House and Senate and signed into law by the President before the end of the fiscal year on September 30th. Next, I'll turn to market structure legislation, where all eyes are on the Senate. The Senate Banking Committee has released the updated discussion draft of the Responsible Financial Innovation Act, as Gavin noted, or RFIA, and BA is continuing to work with our membership to provide the Senate Banking Committee with industry feedback ahead of their markup on September 30th. BA is also hosting targeted conversations with our working groups, specifically those on DePIN, Layer 1s, and trading firms. BA also shares the DeFi community's enthusiasm for those included protections for software developers and infrastructure providers. And at this time, I know everyone's wondering, we know that the CFTC portion of the bill is in the works from the Senate Agriculture Committee, but we have not seen the text nor the date for that just yet. So the next one is on the Senate Democrats' market structure framework that they released. So last week, a group of 12 Senate Democrats released a framework for market structure legislation, and we see this as a really positive sign of the progress on market structure negotiations. Notable points in that framework are the direct call out of meme coins with proposed consumer protection measures for token marketing, as well as limits on elected officials and their families from issuing, endorsing, or profiting off digital assets while in an elected office. They also included a bullet on stablecoin yields. So back in August, the state bankers and American bankers associations released a letter advocating for Congress to use market structure legislation to reopen the recently enacted Genius Act. This is because the legacy banks want to repeal Section 16D, which allows special purpose depository institutions to operate across state lines, as well as ban exchanges from allowing yield or rewards on stablecoins. They argue that these rewards will cause deposit flight. On August 19th, BA joined CCI in publishing a letter pushing back on the bank's arguments, and this was just the start of an industry-wide campaign to ensure that Genius is settled law. Yesterday, BA circulating messaging to Senate staff, calling out some of the myths being pushed by the banking lobby, countering them with facts on the rewards on stablecoins, and we also have some X threads going out today that you might see. Next Monday, BA will host a roundtable in North Carolina to discuss the state-level implementation of the Genius Act, and we're also continuing to join members of our industry, including many of you in this room, to form a united industry front against these efforts. The last congressional update that I'd like to note is a potential digital asset tax bill. We have heard that the Senate Finance Committee will hold a hearing on the topic at the beginning of next month, and that the House Ways and Means staff, both Democrats and Republicans, are interested in drafting a bill on this. So being here at PGP, I would be remiss not to highlight the SEC Crypto Taskforce's announcement that it will hold a public roundtable on financial surveillance and privacy on Friday, October 17th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the SEC headquarters. Just so you know, registration is required for in-person attendance, but this will also be live streamed on the SEC's website. Finally, I wanted to note that Blockchain Association will be hosting a Capitol Hill Education Day on privacy for our members on October 14th. So please come find a member of our team. Many of us are here this morning if you have interest in being a part of this. Thank you.